In this video, we'll create your first web page in the Perygee platform. We'll start on the Workspace Overview page, and I will go to Plus Page and then say New Web Page. Here you'll be presented with a blank, empty page, and you can modify the page yourself, consulting the documentation to understand how this page interacts with the rest of the Perygee platform, or you can use the architect. Here, I'll open the drawer for the architect, and I will ask the architect to help me. Please make me a simple app that allows me to keep track of a counter. I want to be able to add and subtract from the counter. Here, the architect will figure out the available tools that it has based on the page that you're on and will help you complete your task. Here, it's going to modify the code and make the edits for our page. Here we can see a counter app where I can add and remove numbers. If I'd like to extend this, I can continue chatting with my architect. Instead of adding by ones, I'd actually like to add by fives and tens. It will continue my conversation and make the changes. And so here you can see I now have the ability to add by fives and tens and subtract by tens and also fives. A few other tabs you should be aware of. In the data tab, you can provide a data source. This is a URL typically to a Perygee data file. And then you can also query some information that's here in Perygee. However, in most circumstances, when using table spaces, which is the most modern way to store information inside of Perygee, the architect will be able to write queries directly inside of your code. On the Advanced tab, we also have an option to disable the browser sandboxing. The sandbox by default prevents things like pop-ups and also writing and reading from the clipboard. If you're using some advanced web features, you may want to disable the sandbox. However, we've noticed that the architect is quite good at configuring all of this. And so in many cases, we actually just go and we hide the sidebar entirely. This allows us to iterate on our page, having the most screen real estate to monitor the page. When you're finished, you can press save. This will open the save dialog. We'll generate a helpful version message for you, but you should review and modify this as needed. And then there are two options. You can save or save and deploy. The deployed version of a page is the one that non-editors will see when they visit the web page. The use case for saving only is if you're maybe halfway through the changes, or if you'd like to review with some other people first, you can save your changes and then return to them at a later date. Here I'll save and deploy, and then this page is deployed. I'll click Done Editing, and now you can see the page as you would if you were not an editor, if you were just viewing the page. If I go back to edit, I can also see the version history for the page, flipping through to my initial version, as well as the latest version. If I want to revert to a previous version, I can click the More menu and either choose to deploy this version or edit from this version. To give an example, let's deploy version 1. Now, when we hide the version history and say we're done editing, we'll see the original version of the page. Now, to go back, I can select the version and then instead deploy version 2. Now, when I return, I will see the counter app again. If you want to start editing your code from a previous version, I can click on the version that you want and say edit from this version. This will allow you to edit and modify the code starting at that initial version.